Excellent. Well, first of all, thank you so much for letting me speak today. Just a brief bit about me. So, as you can see, Matt Chase, I'm the healthcare CTO at Fujitsu UK. Some of us may remember you from many years ago, but we are very much a new outfit, and I've been brought in recently as the outgoing CTO from Guys and Thomas's to head up and shape Fujitsu's offering for the NHS. So without further ado, so it was good to hear from Jeanette that I hadn't got things too wrong. There is, as you all know, a worldwide shortage of radiologists. I actually gave a bit of a sharp intake. 11% of full-time equivalent, properly funded roles being vacant in the UK. It's a quite shocking fact. And I'm a career technologist. I've been in healthcare for about 10 years. So for the majority of you will say, yes, I'm just starting. And I know, and it does feel like I'm just starting. But what I learned at Guy's and St Thomas's was that just how important radiology was for care. And also, I was told repeatedly about the IT, and obviously I'm going to have to apologise on behalf of the whole of the NHS IT that we've not really done much for you. I mean, I think what Jeanette pointed out there, the IT infrastructure, it's the oldest stuff. It's been sweated, the things you're asking for, I think as a technology leader and coming out of Guy's and Thomas's, we need to do better. And what I'm going to show you today won't solve all of your problems. I can't magic up people. I can't clone you, unfortunately. So if anyone was expecting to see cloning today, I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. But what I will be able to show you is, I think, a solution for all of the IT infrastructure challenges that Jeanette mentioned. And let me just move on to start to demonstrate that. So I know that there's going to be this need to report from home. And I've seen the workstations that we've imposed on you in hospitals. I think the monitors are utterly fantastic, but I think the machines that occupy a huge amount of space under the desk and spew out a large amount of heat and require you to basically be fixed in the hospital we need to do something about that. And I also completely get that what IT have done so far, which is just basically to throw a bunch of technology that isn't right for you and say, right, get on with it. That's not going to work. You need a solution if you're going to be asked to work from home or work from places other than the hospital. It needs to be optimized for that space. Yeah, and I think Jeanette mentioned, quality of networks and speed. If I come up with a solution for you that requires the fastest broadband to even just to be able to to download an image in half an hour, that's wrong. I'm currently presenting to you from London, but I've only got a 10 meg connection. I think that's pretty much representative of most places at home. I'm wireless. I'm not wired. Again, I don't expect IT to impose changes on you. I want you to be able to work the way you work, just from a different place. And I want it to be, I know, well, you've told me, security, I've learned about security over the 15 years in healthcare. This is patient data, patient identifiable data. I know, and the information covers, I know how important that is. So what you're seeing on the right-hand side here is my vision of how we can solve all the problems that I've mentioned and the problems that Jeanette mentioned. And you'll see on here, I put up here radiology information systems. That could easily be your EPR, any other system within the trust. But I want to splice in Office 365 because I know how much Teams means to the NHS these days. But what I'm going to do is deliver this solution via the cloud. I think the cloud has shown that it's come of age in COVID times. It gave capacity where capacity wasn't there on premises, and it is my belief that there's no non-functional requirement or functional requirement that you can come up with that the cloud isn't capable of delivering. So Fujitsu is all about partnership. Fujitsu does some wonderful jobs. It's a system, it's a global system integrator, number the top 5, but we do that through partnerships. Now, I built up a really good partnership with Sectra when I was at Guy's. You know, so Sectra PAX is in use across Guy's, St Thomas's and Evelina, and I believe it's part of the KHP. So it was natural for me to reach out to my friends at Sectra to help me come up with a solution. And I've also leveraged our deep relationship with Citrix. We have Fujitsu as a first-class relationship with Citrix. It's my belief that if I'm going to come up with a solution for radiologists, I need this solution to be as robust as possible, which means I want tried and tested technology at every single point of the solution delivery. And I'm ex-Microsoft, so of course I'm going to be leveraging my relationship with Microsoft. So before I show you what the solution's made up of, I just wanted to kind of amplify what Jeanette was saying, and these things up on here of what my time at Guy's has told me, and also going around the country when I was at Microsoft. So I know you want it to be secure. So if I don't have any information on any machine at any point, so that the data, the information doesn't leave the confines of the trust network, I think that's a good thing. And if I can apply military grade security to the screens that are being beamed, then I think that's probably going to be secure. I know you tell me that it's got to be diagnostic quality. It took me 6 months at Guy's to understand the difference between viewing an image on a browser and viewing it in a warranted way with the diagnostic certificates that are needed. So I know reporting has different demands than viewing or second opinion. So we will not sacrifice any requirements there. And this other thing, I mean, I've seen the number of monitors sometimes you need, especially for mammography. So if I can remove as much of the equipment as possible, if I can run this on a tiny PC, and this can be done in trusts or at home, I know this is going to be a good thing. Yeah. And also, so I will optimize this solution so that you don't need to have a West Wing in order just to be able to do it. Will it be fast enough? Jeanette's mentioned that already. So I want to make sure that I want to deliver a solution that means I can accelerate your experience in the trust as well as at home. And if I can't deliver that on a standard broadband connection, then I may as well pack up my kit and walk away. And as far as this was something that took me a little while to understand. I should not have any impact on the way you work. You know how you want to work. You know how to collaborate. So it's for me to make sure I deliver the solution in the same way. If you want to change how you work, that's your gift, not mine. And I know obviously Jeanette's mentioned that. Will I be permanently at home? As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to make this a binary decision. I want to make this give you flexibility. So I can't change the monitors, but I can change every single other aspect of the solution. And if I can make sure the solution is the same in the trust as it is at home, then I think we're on to a winner. So this is how I am going to deliver the radiology at home solution for you. So the first thing to know, what's missing from here is the trust systems. I'm not going to change any of them. So every single component that you currently use when you're in the hospital, that stays the same. What I'm going to be doing is putting a lightweight machine behind a nice monitor that you can do all your email and admin and everything else on. You attach at the highest possible resolution and at the diagnostic grade that you need the DICOM monitor to the mini PC. And then the way I'm going to deliver the magic is by using the power of the cloud. So that's the Citrix cloud to deliver the security and the flexibility, and then the Microsoft cloud to deliver some novel capabilities. So this is where the new ingredients come in. So I will be using Windows virtual desktops. So these are just like the desktops or the equivalent of the desktops using the trust, but I'm running them in the cloud, and I'm using the same graphic acceleration that are currently plugged into those huge workstations under your desk, but I'm going to be running those in the cloud. By doing that, it means I can I can remove the need for the workstation in front of you. All of the power, all of the enhancements are done in Azure, and as I say, Citrix is providing that fantastic security and the ability to beam that desktop at the required quality to either your home or into the trust. So these are the benefits. So this is, you'll be pleased to know, this is the last slide I've got before I actually show you this working, because I thought I'm not going to come on to your wonderful conference and not show this working. The benefits here, so I want to just amplify again, I don't want to change how you work, just where you work. And I want to improve the experience in the trust and be able to optimize your environment at home. I want to be able to enable you to have a better work-life balance. Obviously, I can't do anything about the fact that there's this huge backlog you mentioned. What I can do is mean that if you want to work from home, or if you want to do some overtime over the weekend or outside of core hours, I want to make sure that those hours are productive hours. You're not waiting behind a VPN for those images to come down and synchronize locally, and then you've got a fraction of time to actually do some productive work. I want to enable this. So what Jeanette mentioning about this, the community of radiologists. I believe that the scale that I can deliver this solution and the overlays onto the trust systems, I think the boundaries are removed. So the community networks, either regional or national, are enabled through the solution. As I mentioned before, I've optimized the whole service for the homes. This is not just you taking a huge workstation laptop, which the power supply is heavier than a normal laptop, to then have someone give you a lift home with a monitor, and then things go wrong and you've got to drag back into the trust. This will be a service designed for the home with the ability to report faults and have them fixed at home, with kit replaced at home, and not requiring you to build a West Wing in order to host all the equipment. Obviously, for patients, they're going to see faster diagnosis and less delays. And at the end of the day, that's what they want from us. And for the trust, I mentioned this before. I'm not touching your existing PACS or VNA. Yeah, all I'm doing is beaming using the power of the novel cloud to a workstation environment that's not necessarily in the hospital. I'm not storing any data anywhere. So IG and GDPR, I'm fully compliant. Financial benefits, we're existing as much with the existing technology as possible. So if you've got wonderful new ISOs or equivalent screens, then we can reuse those. I'm enabling space saving. So that's, as Jeanette mentioned, you want to be at the trust. So let's make the radiology department a nicer place to work by removing the needs for those legacy workstations. And it does enable this notion of application infrastructure rationalization. Let's look at these regional networks, and then with the power of the cloud, remove those boundaries that Jeanette said don't need to be there. And I do believe that we can attract talent from outside. I can run this solution from anywhere on the planet, and you won't know the fact you're somewhere else. Now, obviously, there is the limitation of the speed of light. So if you're in Australia, you won't have the same experience as if you're in France or in Europe or somewhere close. But you get the point there. We can attract foreign investment for foreign talent, and we don't actually have to get them to move out of their home if we want to. And as I mentioned at the end there, we're using cloud. So we're using hyperscale cloud. We're not using hosted data centers with traditional kit hosted and running in there. We're using the power of true hyperscale cloud. So you'll be pleased to know that's the last of the slideware. So just to give me a second, I'm just going to fire up my demo environment and bring this across. And please, Sean, shout if this isn't, if you're not seeing this. So hopefully you should now see the Sectra IDS7 client in front of you. This is running at full HD. I don't have an ISO clinical monitor in front of me. I've got one on order. I just had to put the request for the 11 grand in for my boss to sign off. So for the time being, you're seeing this in full HD. Now this is probably quite a familiar screen. I've got some projects preloaded up. before I show you those, I want to show you this. So this is the non-functional requirements that we've got, giving you the diagnostic quality that you know you're going to demand. So we're building to pixel perfect. There's massive enhancements going on here, but what I'm going to do is switch to pixel perfect, because nothing less is going to be good enough. I just wanted to show you here, I'm running a full virtual desktop from Citrix in Azure. You can see I'm logged in as Radiology Demo 1. I've got Office 365 loaded, I've got Teams in the background, and I've now got the Sectra IDS7 client. So what I'm going to start off with is just a normal a chest X-ray. I'm going to pull that up. Now, so what you've seen there, that's zero delay. I haven't preloaded this. There's no caching. There's no VPN. I'm connected to Sectra's test system over the internet with some security. But this is the worst possible delivery scenario. I mean, this is, no one would ever use the internet to connect to a core system. So, but you can see there was absolutely no delay. And if I pull up a magnifying glass here, you can see there's no graphical artifacts. This is like, I expect the equivalent of running this in the trust. So that should be you should be really underwhelmed by that, because that looks just like you're doing it in the trust. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a CT. There we are. Sorry about, I didn't double click on there. So you can see here I can zoom in and out just like you normally can. So there's zero delays here. This is there's no blurring. There's no loss of pixels. Now you can see here I'm running it at currently at 7 frames a second. Let's wrap that up to 50 frames a second. And while it's doing that, let me explain the kit I'm running this on. So I'm running this on a 5-year-old laptop. It's a Core i3. I'm sitting behind a wireless network with my wife working in the other room. This is the real world worst of case scenarios, and there's zero packet loss, 0 frames a second on that CT scan. Let me just pause it there for the moment. And as you can see here, I'm zooming in and out at the maximum possible rates there. And let me just quickly show you the 3D rendering. So this is I've got no special magic local graphics cards. I've got a standard laptop graphics card, and all of the graphical acceleration here is being done in the Azure cloud with the NVIDIA configuration that you're used to in the workstations. So this is absolute zero graphical artifacts or delay. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is a mammography. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Do excuse me. I'm allowed one mistake in my demo. This one here. There we go. So what I'm going to show you, this is something I'll be working on next. So this is coming up. This will be at the full Quad HD 6 megapixel spec. I'm hoping to get up to 8 megapixel on the new monitors that ISO have got. But what I'm going to show you here, I'm going to start all of these sequences up. So there's 2, 3, 4 sequences running. I know you wouldn't do this normally, but I'm just showing this for effect. So you've got all 4 sequences there I can display running, and then here's the image here. I'm just going to move this around. You can see there's no delays. I'm going to magnify that as well, just to have a look at those interesting lights there. And you see there's absolute no dropouts whatsoever in any of those videos. I am running short on time, so what I'm going to do now is just show you this last bit. So Sectra has the ability to show pathology as well. And I know pathology is some of the largest images you can get. These are 5 gig images. And let me just click on this one here. Double click. So this is a 5 gig image that's loaded instantly. I'm now going to start zooming in and out. to 20 times zoom, 40 times zoom, 0 delays. I'm now down at the cellular level. Just zoom out there. Let me just click on one of the other images here. Absolutely no delays whatsoever. I write in again. So the reason why we can do this is because we are using the tried and tested technology from Citrix that's beaming the desktop running in Azure with the graphical enhancements at zero quality loss over the internet. So just that's the end of my demo. I'm hoping that was suitably impactful. I'm just going to, if you can bear with me, I'm just going to just have one final slide. So Fujitsu is trying to do things differently in healthcare. Well, our aim is to deliver productive, predictive, and personalised healthcare through co-creation. So we don't want to run managed services. We don't want to come up with products that are going to be useless. We want to work alongside trusts to co-create solutions to the problems you have, and we'll do that by strengthening your digital foundations. So what I've just showed you there comes underneath our digital foundations arm. We want to improve patient flow and patient experience, but by far the most important, we believe it's about time that innovation improve workforce productivity, improve the systems you have, improve your lives, and we'll do that by bringing in digital futures. So I'm only 2 minutes over my allotted time, so I think at that point I say, look, then this is my details up here. I'm available at any time to talk about what I've just shown you. The next stage is we are working with a number of trusts on establishing a full POC. So this is a 5 years of POC in the trusts. I'd love to hear from anyone else that's interested in how we've done this and working with us on similar pilot projects. Anyway, so question answer, back to you, core team.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you.